I need to do a part two of day 35. Day 35, I went to Whole Foods so I could start looking at the things that I possibly want to start getting into as far as eating after I come off my fast. So I'm in Whole Foods and I'm looking at the raisins, I'm looking at the nuts, chia seeds and stuff like that. And I'm taking pictures of things that I may be interested in or I want more knowledge of so that I can start incorporating it into my phase two. Because there's gonna be three phases for me. Phase one is fasting, liquids only. Phase two is gonna be like fruits and smoothies in addition to my um juicing. And then phase three will be when I start eating meat, but cleaner meat. Um, I'm gonna start off with seafood, just seafood, and then transition into cleaner meat. I'm gonna try my best to stay away from the red meat. But anyway, so I'm in there and I'm looking for stuff. My husband with me, and I'm walking and you kind of like doing this because you're looking at the stuff that's on the bottom shelf. Because I'm green to Whole Foods other than to bring my items from Amazon back there. So there was a lady who was walking behind me. I'm not paying attention to her at all, but you just hear a body hit the floor. You hear the body hit the floor, and I turn around and I look and I see the old lady on the floor. All I can see is her legs. I don't know if it's a lady. Well, I know it's a lady because she had on a dress. All I can see is the legs had hit the floor. So her loved one, I'm gonna say, came over and he trying to get her off the floor while she's still in a faint position, like she just limped. And he trying to get off the floor, and I was like, no, no, let her lay there. And he was like, leave her alone, I got her. And he trying to pick her up in her body just like a little noodle. The lady reaches out and grabs my hand, and she's holding on to my hand, the right hand, yeah. She's holding on to my hand, and the man's still trying to pick her up. And so they got other people that's coming around in the front of him, which is behind the lady, trying to help him get the lady up since that's what he want to do. And he eventually get her to her feet, but she's still just very faint, and she's still holding on to my hand. And he's like, let her go. I was like, I don't have her. She holding on to me. That man pulled that lady hand out my hand and pushed my hand back. I walked away, but I was like, in the name of Jesus, don't let this man cause this lady no hurt, no harm. Because you could feel it. And the lady, by the time she could open her eyes, she looking, and it's almost like that helped me look like as if somebody got taken away from their mom or dad, and this man was stealing her. That's what it almost looked like. Like she had that help me look, and I'm just looking like, Lord, in the name of Jesus, like this connection didn't happen for nothing, because I could feel this lady. I could feel her. And so I just prayed because I knew that something was wrong with him or something wasn't right, or maybe he was overwhelmed. Whatever the case is, Jesus fixed this situation because it wasn't right. Um, he eventually got her to her feet, and he's telling her, and she not all the way on her feet because she's still wiggling, wobbling, her shoes not on. He was like, "Why you ain't tell me you was weak? Why you ain't tell me you was about to fall? I could have got you the chair. Here, put your shoes on." She could barely pick up her foot, so he picks up her foot, he stick it in there. So I don't know how. I think he sat her down on something. Somebody brought like little crates and stuff because it was by the vegetables. So I think they brought her some like crates to sit on. And so she sat on that, and he went and got her a chair or the rolling cart, the motorized thing. He bring her the motorized thing, and he fussing at her because she couldn't put her hands on the thing to grip the thing to go around the store. And it almost seemed like they was following me in the store. I know they wasn't. They were just looking for what they was looking for. They didn't know what aisle I was gonna go down. I'm sure, of that. But he was pushing the chair with her in it just because she couldn't pull the little thing. He pushing that thing hard to push. The baskets are put to push. Just imagine a motorized scooter that nobody's motorizing and the lady sitting on it and he just pushing it and he trying to steer it too. I was like, the things that's going through my mind, like you already know. So when I get to my husband, when I walk over to my husband before they go to pushing, before he pushed around in the store, when I get to my husband said, "I was telling you don't to leave it alone." I said, "Boy, you ain't said nothing." He said, "Yeah, but you was so far away you didn't hear me." I said, "Cause you didn't say nothing." Now, the problem I have with that is, if you saw what was going on, you could have walked over there and tapped me on my shoulder. "Come on, Key," or say it louder. Put some bass in your voice. Tell me, "Come on," if that's what you're gonna do. Because I'm gonna listen. But my husband in this season, he's gonna have to become tougher. He used to be tough. He's gonna have to become tougher because that man pushing my hand. First of all, it caught me off guard, and really, the things that was in my head, I was like, let me walk away. And I actually did like this, and I walked away. Too do 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 do. Mind my dang on business. But that lady right there is still sticking with me to right now, and that was on day 35. But what I realized though is that that connection that was made between that lady and I, the energy that was shared between that lady and I, has not left me yet. And when I was on the prayer line with my with women under construction, that's the prayer group that my mom-in-law, the one that just recently passed, that she was the overseer of. In the last 3 months, I've been on the prayer calls. We do it a communion every first of the month, the first 7 days of the month. We do communion, and I was on there and I let the ladies know what was going on, and they prayed for her. And I expect to see this lady again, and I just want God to just give her a freedom in this season on this side of heaven that I didn't see that day. That lady needs help. Not only does she need help, I ask that God would change that man's heart because he was so cold, so defensive. And I don't know if he defending her. Maybe people hurted her and he's just doing the right thing. But that ain't the feeling that I got. That's not the feeling I got. I'm being totally honest. But I know that there's two sides to every story. I only know one. So God healed that situation. Yeah, day 35 was a spiritual awakening that was very odd for me, very weird. And the only other time I have felt something like that is when my mama was passing and she could no longer talk. You feel that telepathy. It's almost like a mama knowing what their child needs because their child is a baby and their baby can't talk. You just know. It's almost like knowing, and I hear people say this, and I don't know this one for myself. When their child is dead, they know. They just have a knowing. So that's what I felt in that moment. And right now, my hand tingling. My hand tingling. Yeah, that's gold. That ain't Keisha. And it's not tingling from carpal tunnel. Yeah, my elbow is on the chair, whatever. My elbow was on the chair before, like my hand tingling. So God, I just want to tell you, thank you for this season right here. Thank you for what is happening. My eyes are open, and I need to read my Bible more. I'm putting the word in. That's why I have my headphones in. I'm up early doing cakes. But I just wanted to tell you about the continuation of day 35. I just had to share that. Now, let me stop and say deuces. I love my juices.